Yeah. Hey, tour date time. West Palm Beach Improv, May 28th to the 30th, and Creek in the Cave in Austin, Texas, June 6th. You can go to my website for tickets. Get your tickets now. Big shout out today to Helix Sleep. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz and they'll match you to the mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Find your perfect mattress at helixsleep.com/Griffin. With HelloFresh, you get pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Go to HelloFresh.com/12Griffin. That's 12Griffin, and use code 12Griffin for 12 free meals, including free shipping. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your absolutely favorite podcast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome back to Griffin. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, y'all. Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Got the singing mic hot and heavy. Once again, we're back. It's me. I got WIGGY on the 1s and 2s back there. Today is NBA basketball. I'm going to review some movies. Wiggs got some stuff from me, but I really appreciate you guys being here as always. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Do all that stuff. Make sure you hit the, go to Erik Griffin Gaming. Do all that stuff. And welcome back to Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. I love a good hot effects mic. That's what that's all about. But welcome back to Riffin with Griffin, everybody. We had a good week. I think after the surprise of having somebody, the new format, the first week people were like, "What is this?" All the comments we got. And then this week is more like, okay, they're getting used to it, and so we're going to continue to build on what we're doing here. But, again, I appreciate all the feedback, the comments. You guys have sent a lot of lovely feedback. Even the people that, say don't like it, or they're like, you should get somebody else. She doesn't have enough energy, or whatever that. Those people, they still write it out nicely, and I do appreciate that. So thanks for all the feedback of everything. And, again, once again, welcome to Riffin with Griffin. First, let me start with this. I remember, if you remember last week, I was talking about American Idol, and I was like, that girl, she got kicked off. The girl I said was gonna for sure win. I forgot her name already. Grace, not Grace. The young white girl, 16 with the black hair. I feel like she had everything in place to win American Idol, and they voted her off. And so now who's left is Willie, which I feel like Willie's gonna win. It's Willie. It's this girl Grace, and she sings so good. And then the white boy with the guitar, who I thought he should not be there. Like, in comparison to, you want to talk about singing and being a star, he don't got the same talent level as the three people that's left. He's great though. Don't get me wrong. He is great. Okay. Well, I forgot the guy's name too. I forgot everybody's name. I didn't even let him know I was going to talk about this, but I just remember Chase. Yeah, the guy's name is Chase. So Chase, and now I'm feeling like he might win. And if he wins, this is the thing they were talking about on American Idol before. They used to complain about, it's another white guy and a guitar winning American Idol. And then these really great singers, they don't get voted by the people. So it's just a weird thing. And I feel like, oh no, is it going to happen again? So now that little girl's gone, who, again, she's going to be a star. Look out for her. I wish I could remember her name. What's her name, dude? She was in the top 5 last week. Whatever her name is, guys. I'm sure in the comments people are it's probably showing up in the comments right now. You got to be faster than this.
Casey Bishop?
Casey Bishop. That's her name. Casey Bishop. She is going to be a star. Guarantee it, all right? Anyways, They kicked her off. She didn't get enough votes. And now we left with Grace, Chase, and Willie. So now I'm pulling for Willie. Because at first I didn't think, because of the whole American Idol package, I thought Casey was going to win. She just got the whole package. She's a really great singer, talented. She's young. She's beautiful. That's everything that goes into American Idol. Let's just be honest about it. Willie is the best singer. You know what I mean? There she is right there. If you're looking on YouTube. But, Willie's the best singer. But, he's not necessarily the quintessential prototype what you want American Idol to look like. I mean, it's still an image-based business. You know what I mean? Like, say what you want. This is about also image, And, he's just a big guy. You know what I mean? He's not necessarily, Anyway, let me not keep going on this train of thought. It doesn't matter. You know what? You know what I'm saying. All right. I don't need to explain myself with that. So, but now I feel like Willie's got a real good shot. Like if it comes down to Willie and Chase and Willie doesn't win, that's gonna make me upset. But then in the same way though, is it more about being American Idol looking, or is it about talent? And that's what it'll come down to if it's left between those two. And I think it will be. I think it's going to be between Chase and Willie. And that was on tonight, actually, because today is Sunday. We filmed today, Sunday. We turned it around fast. Today's Monday that you're looking at the podcast. So I don't even know what happened. I don't know what's happening tonight on American Idol. So next week I'll have to recap that. So anyways, that's my American Idol talk. I love that show, so I can't wait to see who wins. And shout out to Casey Bishop. You're going to be a star. And all these people that are left are really fantastic singers and performers. Chase, too. Let me not get down on that dude. He's got with that, that growl, that grizzly voice that you like when white boys play guitar. He got that good white boy voice. And I have a playlist called White Boy Music on my Spotify. I should share with you guys my Spotify playlist. I have a lot of. I'm very eclectic music taste. I can't listen to the same type of music all the time. Like I can't listen to hip hop all day. Some people can. I can't do it. If I listen to hip hop all day, my brain, I get a headache. I just can't deal with it. The only thing I can listen to all day is like easy listening alternative rock. That's like it's just I don't know wait for my life to come over. That kind of shit. That it's just on all day. The early 2000s in today. I can listen to that. Like the Pulse on XM radio. I can listen to that station all day. But I also like classical music. So I listen to I have a playlist on my Spotify called Chopin the Man. I can listen to Chopin for a few hours, but after a few hours, I'm done with the piano. It's like, oh man, this is too much for my ears.
Yeah, classical gets
yes. Right, you know what I mean?
A lot.
It becomes a lot.
Yeah, it's nice for a little while though.
Exactly. Same thing I feel like with jazz. Sometimes jazz, I can listen to jazz and it just gets to be like, okay, this is just too neurotic.
Yeah.
So I got jazz, but I'll listen to jazz. I like country music too, but I can't listen to country music all day because it just becomes too whiny. It's like, oh man, another sad story. So I'm very eclectic taste. I like a lot of different types of music. So, anyways. Chase is one of those guys I feel like he's gonna make it too. So I don't want to denigrate the guy. I just feel like Willie is the best singer left, and that's saying a lot because that chick Grace is a really great singer. So shout out to everybody that's left in Americana. Good for you guys. All right, so what's going on this week is I want to talk my NBA playoffs preview. Now the playoffs have already started as of this. Like there's games going on right now as I'm filming this episode, but it doesn't matter. It's only game one of the playoffs, so I want to do my playoff preview. So NBA playoffs preview, riffing with playoffs or whatever you want to say. A lot of great matchups. If I had to say though, in the East, I think it's Philly, I think it's the Bucks, and obviously the Nets. Those are the three guys I think that have the best shot of coming out of the East now. Okay, and then in the West, I think it's still the Lakers, even though they lost today. Lakers lost, but I still think it's the Lakers. I think the Clippers, who lost, and I don't even know. I just think those two teams are the two teams I think. But actually, at this point right now, who knows? So let's look at the brackets right now. So I got the brackets up if you're looking at YouTube. And so Utah got the number one seed. I didn't watch Utah a lot this year. But what I do know of them is they're probably the deepest team in the league. They're well coached. They are ready to go. Last year they choked in the playoffs. They didn't choke, but it was just a fantastic matchup between Utah and Denver. But they choked away a 3-1 lead. Donovan Mitchell is the man. He's coming back. He's ready to play. And they have a really a well-rounded team. They're not star-driven. They're not a team that you go, ooh, that guy. Donovan Mitchell is that guy, and he hasn't proven it yet that he's like a MVP candidate, superstar type guy. But he's got the talent for that. So Utah, So let me see the brackets again. So you got Utah playing Memphis, who they beat up Golden State to get into the in the play-in tournament. So they're playing against Memphis, and that is a really Memphis is an up and coming team, but I think Utah is going to get past them. So this side of the bracket, then you got the Clippers and Dallas. Now my Clippers, I love the Clippers. That's my team. I had season tickets before, and I love watching them and supporting them. But it becomes a thing where it's like, supporting the Clippers is, man, it feels like you're glutton for punishment to support the Clippers, man. It's like they have never been to a conference final, and every time they get you excited, like this is gonna be it. It's so funny. Wiggy just drank something, and his mic is so hot. I heard the, you know what I mean? I heard the gulp go down your throat.
Turn it down. Is that better?
No. You don't have to turn it down. I just thought that was funny. So you got the Clippers. So anyway, I've been supported the Clippers for a very long time. And every time I think they're going to do it, they disappoint, man. They just disappoint. And so now I'm starting to I don't have as much faith as I had before. Because when they had Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, that team, and J.J. Redick, and, Doc Rivers as the coach, that's the year I thought, man, we could do this. I remember being up 20 on Golden State. And I was like, and they were undefeated at the time. Golden State was undefeated at the time. We were up 20 in that game, and they came back and lost. We came back and lost. And I remember somebody from the Golden State press took a picture of me. Like, it was like a tie ball game or something, and Steph Curry shoots a three-pointer and a dagger, and it was like a dagger three. And they caught me going like this. Like the Home Alone, and it was like on the news the next day. This is what Clippers fans. So it became like a meme. So I had like a very, very low key meme moment. Maybe you can find that.
That's fire.
So the Clippers. So right now, if you look at that bracket, the Clippers have a really they seem to be the best team in that area, right? But I don't know. They already lost game one. And Dallas looks great, but I just don't see Dallas being a team that can win the championship. So I think the Clippers are tailor-made. They're ready. They got a deep squad, but they got to get it together. So you got that. And then let me see it again. The other teams we got. Okay, so then you got the Denver-Portland matchup, and Portland's up 1-0. And I think they should be up. They're the 6th seed, but Denver, the fact that they finished with the 3rd seed is a testament to what's the big center's name? Why am I forgetting the dude's the foreign guy from Denver? I don't forgot the dude's name, but you guys are probably saying it in the chat, so it doesn't matter. You know who I'm talking about. That guy was an MVP candidate. He probably is going to win MVP, and he probably should because he kept that team in it because their main guy their main guy got hurt. You know what I mean? Look, I got it now. I got to look up there. Now I got to look it up because I feel like I'm just old. Denver Nuggets. What is the dude's name? Wait, Denver Nuggets players. Here we go. All right, so Niko Jokic, the Joker, Djokovic. Yeah, I got it. So Djokovic, yeah. So and Jamal Murray is the one that got hurt. Last year, Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell, they were battling in the first round. It was like a fantastic, this guy scores 50, the other guy scored 40. Then it was that kind of matchup. So he's been hurt. He tore his ACL, so he hasn't been in the game for the last few months. So the fact that the Joker has got them to the 3rd seed in the Western Conference is a testament to how great he is. But in the playoffs, I just don't think that. In the playoffs, I don't think that he's good enough. I don't think that the Denver team is good enough, and I think Portland should win that series. And my problem with Portland now is Portland. Listen, basketball is a tall man's game. Okay, it just is. It's a big man's game. All right. The Portland's Portland's freaking players, they're just too small when it comes to it. Damian Lillard is a fantastic player, MVP candidate, all right? He's an MVP candidate, but he just don't have enough. You know what I mean? So you got CJ McCollum, he's a small guard, and Damian Lillard. When those are your two best players, they have to do extra, no matter how good they are, when they play against some of these other teams that got 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" guys playing the wings. So I like Portland. I think they're a good story. I like that Carmelo Anthony's having a resurgence in his the end of his career when people said he was done. Now Carmelo Anthony's still playing, but I don't think Portland has enough to win the championship. I just think when push comes to shove, and you're in a playoff series where the game slows down and it becomes a half-court game, they just don't have it. They don't have enough. So that's that series, okay? And then when you look, going back to the brackets, and then you have so then you have Phoenix and LA. Now Phoenix, the number 2 seed in LA. Now Phoenix beat LA in the first game, but if you look back at LeBron James's career, he loses game 1 a lot. And I think that's his move. They lose game 1, they try to figure it out, and then they come back and win the series. I think that he's not 100%. I don't think Anthony Davis is 100%, but I still think they have enough to beat Phoenix. Now, Phoenix is a great story. The fact that they have finished second in the West, and then they were 8-0 in the bubble last year, coming into this season with that 8-0, they got the best record of any team. They really had a fantastic season. Chris Paul, who should also be an MVP candidate, is balling, and he's got them in the position where they are right now. So they are 1-0. They beat the Lakers in their first game, but I still think the Lakers. And then when you look at this bracket, I think if the Lakers can get past Phoenix, they got a road to the Western Conference Championship that is tailor-made. That is a perfect road to the finals. But if, say, the Lakers don't win, I'd love to see Phoenix-Portland. Then, if that happens, if it's Phoenix versus Portland in the second round, I give Portland a shot. I think they got enough to beat Phoenix, and then they're in the Western Conference Final. Then they're going to be playing against whatever team that is. It's either going to be the Clippers or, one of those teams, all right? So the Western Conference, it looks good, but it's not as this fantastic Western Conference that we've seen in the past. So I think we want the Lakers. I would love to see Lakers versus Clippers in the Western Conference Final. That's the one we want. And right now it's set up for that. The Clippers are deep. They're talented. They got Kawhi Leonard. They got Paul George. They got Rondo. They got DeMarcus Cousins. They got the Clippers got a great team, and it would be a disappointment if we don't see them in the Western Conference Finals versus the Lakers. That's who we want to see. All right, we want to see him versus the Lakers. Serge Ibaka played well the other day. They really have a great team, man. The Clippers are deep. They're well coached. They're just missing that magic thing. I can't explain it, but they're missing that stuff, and I hope they find it in this playoff. So, anyways, that's the that's the Western Conference. Now, let's go over to the Eastern Conference. All right. So these matchups. So the first one is a Philly beat Washington, and this should be a sweep. The Philly should sweep Washington. The same situation. Washington and Portland got the same issues. Washington and Portland have the same issues, man. It's little-ass teams, okay? Russell Westbrook is a fantastic player, an all-time great. He's going to go in the Hall of Fame. He averaged a triple-double for 4 seasons, and he has the most triple-doubles in NBA history. He is a fantastic player, but he himself alone is not enough to make a team a champion. He needs sidekicks, and unfortunately, his sidekick is somebody who plays very similarly. Bradley Beal, who is a dynamic scorer, but he should be paired up with somebody like LeBron James or somebody like Kevin Durant or somebody that's or a power forward like Jokic or somebody that's that kind of guy, and he would be the 1-2 combination, the Robin to somebody's Batman. So we got 2 Robins on this team right now. They just don't have enough. But the fact that they made it into the playoffs, they have a losing record. They won the play-in game tournament thing, and they got in, but they're going to get demolished by Philly. Philly's just got the Philly. To me, it should now. What we want to see is Philly Nets in the Eastern Conference Final. So you got that first matchup, which is Philly versus Washington, and then you have the little fun feel-good story, which is Knicks Atlanta. I'm not going to talk too much about this, but like the Knicks, it's a great story. They got the coach. He coached what's his name, Thibodeau. He coached Derrick Rose when Derrick Rose was the MVP. So he's got him on a team. He's resurging in his career. He's got a little renaissance of his career too. Julius Randle's playing like an MVP. So that looks great. You know what I mean? And so we'll see what's going on with these playoffs. But the Knicks, like, they don't have a shot to win the championship. But it's a fun story. It's great when a team from New York is actually doing well. It's great for the league. It's exciting. East Coast, West Coast. It's good to have those kinds of teams. And then you got the Hawks, okay? And then the Hawks are another great story. Their coach, I think it's, what's his name? Something McMillan, or I forgot the coach, but he's doing a great Nate McMillan. He's doing a great job. He used to be a really great player, by the way. But, so they got Trae Young. And Trae Young's like that. That's their star. And they have a nice little team. Clint Capella, these guys that they have on the team, Gallinari, they're all like nice, almost all-stars, sometimes all-star. They're the kind of all-star when like a main all-star gets hurt and they're the alternate. And they deserve to be there, but they weren't better than the other great players in the league. That's this whole team, So Atlanta's a great story. But I think Philly should get – it would be a disappointment if Philly don't get to the Eastern Conference Final. They're better than Washington, New York, and Atlanta. Hands down, they're better than those teams. And it would be a disappointment if Philly don't get to the Eastern Conference Final. Now, the lower part of the bracket – let's go to that, Wiggs. Lower part of the bracket. There you go. Milwaukee, Miami, Brooklyn, Boston. Okay, so let me start with Brooklyn and Boston. Boston they're a disappointment. They won the play-in tournament. They shouldn't have even been in the play-in tournament. They've been in the Eastern Conference Final 3 out of the last 4 years, I believe. They're a great team, Boston, but Boston, they don't have enough. I think Jaylen Brown is still hurt, but it's I believe Jaylen Brown is still hurt, so he didn't play. And this guy, Jason Tatum, though, is a star. Jason Tatum is like the future. And you got Kemba Walker, who's like a poor man's Kyrie Irving. They got a good team. They're underachieving. They've been underachieving. They should have beat LeBron that 1 year, and they didn't. They would have gone to the championship. They might have won it, or they would have been they would have lost to Golden State too. But that was their chance to get to the championship. A young, hot team like that. So they're still young. They're still hungry. I don't know if Brad Stevens, the coach, is getting to them anymore. I don't think he's motivating them enough. I think they're just sick of his voice, maybe. So you got that. So that series, and of course, I've talked about the Nets. They should win this series. What more can you say about the Nets? They finally got all three of their stars playing. James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and they looked fantastic together, but their defense still sucks. So I think they're going to get their groove, and we're going to see the Nets like really take off in the playoffs. And by the time it's time for Eastern Conference Finals and going into the finals, because they should make the finals, they really should. But I still think Philly has a shot. All right, so that's going to be a great matchup. Because I don't think anybody I think Embiid is the most dominant force on the court with whoever he's playing, whatever team's playing, he's the most dominant force. So hopefully he rises to the occasion. Now, we got Milwaukee, Miami. They had this great overtime game. I don't think it should have been an overtime game. I really feel like Milwaukee should have handled that, but, they lost last year 4-1 against this upstart Miami team. I think Miami is that type of team. They're well coached. They have a great organization. But, so you're talking about Jimmy Butler, who is like he's just a blue collar type NBA player who always gives his all. He works hard. He wants to win. He's got the heart of a champion. Okay, they got to the championship last year in the bubble. They just weren't going to beat LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They don't have enough on that team. But they got a really, a smart, solid team with Spoelstra and Pat Riley running that organization. So they got Victor Oladipo, Tyler Hero, that kid is the future of the league too. They got a nice team, I'm not surprised when you look at the roster. Miami, their roster, it holds up against, a lot of these other teams in the league. It's just, do they have enough? They got to get on the right run. They got to get on the right spark, and we'll see what happens. Maybe this is going to be the year that maybe they do it again, but I just don't see it. So in Milwaukee, now let's go to Milwaukee. Now, Milwaukee has been a disappointment now for 3 years. Antetokounmpo, if I'm saying his name right, he's 2 out of the last 3 years he was the MVP. He could still be MVP this year. He's got those great numbers, but they're just not going to do that because they don't give somebody MVP 3 years in a row unless it was like hands down this guy's, best record in the league, whatever it is like that. But it's time for him. He's got to take care of business this year. He can't be shut down in the playoffs again like he's been shut down for the last 3 years. They just shut him down in the playoffs. So now it's put up or shut up. So that little mini Eastern Conference final in the second round, like what a second round matchup that's going to be. Brooklyn, Milwaukee. That is just, if they make it. I think if Miami should get past Milwaukee, I think the Nets are going to demolish Miami. But I feel like Nets versus Milwaukee, can they do it? They got enough. Milwaukee's got enough, man. They got enough. And Antetokounmpo's got to play like an MVP. So then you're talking about, so that's that. So then you're talking about what we really want to see. I mean, I think we would love to see Lakers versus Brooklyn in the finals. That would be a great final. But I also think the Sixers versus the Clippers would be a great final. That's like Doc Rivers. That storyline would be like Doc Rivers versus his old team and his new team. And let's see, what could happen. You know what I mean? Like, it would be great for the Clippers to beat Doc Rivers. Like, you should have been here. You weren't. Now we're beating you again. So we'll see what happens, man. It's a really exciting. This is a really exciting playoff year. If you're into the NBA, this is the time to watch it. If you're somebody that's like always clowning the NBA, you think it's fake or whatever it is like that. So what? If you think it's wrestling, this is the WrestleMania right now. So come, make sure you check it out. So, anyways, guys, that's my NBA preview. Wiggy, do you like NBA basketball? Do you watch the NBA?
I don't really watch it because we don't have live TV, but I love any sports. I'll always watch it. Any type of.
You don't have live.
But my dad.
Forgot how broke people are.
I grew up with at the very end of the Sonics in Seattle.
Gotcha.
So my dad actually took me to a couple Sonics games when I was really young. So I always remember that. That was
all right. Well, there you go. He gave us a little sweet moment.
Yeah, my dad he did an art piece in Key Arena where the Sonics used to play. So
oh wow,
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, look at you. Yeah. and shout out to Wig's mom.
Yeah, shout out mom.
His mom watches the podcast now.
Yeah, she'd be listening.
Yeah, so Jiggy we call her because she's Julie.
Yeah, Julie.
Wiggy's mom, Jiggy.
She's gonna love that.
So NBA, it is what it is. All right, let's get into what I wanted to the movie reviews and TV show reviews. So people have asked me about this numerous times. Actually, they said, "Have you watched Invincible on Amazon?" It's not the Invincibles; it's Invincible on Amazon, and I have. I watched it, and it is actually a really great show. It's this sort of superhero show cartoon on Amazon, and it's got this really adult story. It's not for kids. I don't think it's for kids. I think I think it's for mature audiences, the mature kids, 14 and up, or I don't know. I don't know what the rating on this show is, but it definitely is an adult story. So it's about this, but it's kind of a knockoff, ripoff of DC, man. It's so crazy to me, like the character names and everything. So, it's about this guy, Omni-Man. He's from another planet like Superman, and he's here on Earth, and there's like a Justice League, the what do they call the Globe Guardians of the Globe, which is like the Justice League, and here's some of the characters, and it's got I'm telling you, this is an all-star cast voicing this cartoon. Like, you look at some of these names, man. Seth Rogen, who else? Go up. Let's see. Seth Rogen, J.K. Simmons, Mark Hamill, Steven Yeun from what is
Walking
it?
Dead.
Walking Dead. Amber. No, what's her name? Zaria Betts. Sandra Oh.
Zazie Beetz. Sandra.
Yeah, they got that guy. The what's the dude? The gay dude and Walter. Yeah,
Walton Goggins.
I mean, the cast.
Yeah,
this is a freaking all-star cast. It's so. It's like amazing. Mark Hamill is he's always an amazing voiceover actor. But anyway, they got these characters that are very similar to the DC, so it feels like a knockoff, Justice League, Guardians of the Globe. So then they got Green Ghost, which is like, Green Lantern, War Woman. So that's Wonder Woman. They got what's the Batman guy? They got Darkwing, and he's like Batman. They got all they got one guy, Red Rush, which is like Flash. So it took me like a few episodes to get past that. Because like for the first few episodes, I'm like, what a knockoff this is. But then you really get engrossed in the story. It's actually a really good story about like, the origins of where Omni-Man came from and like, like this like planetary system of like, there's like, people that are overlooking the planets. And then I don't want to give away what happens in the end, but it's like it's actually a really good story. It's well voiced. Like if you just look at like, if you like Wiggy, scroll up and down again one more time so people can start from the top so people can see all the different actors while I'm talking about this, so they can see all the different people that are in this cast, man. Like it's some really like great voiceover actors. So you can tell they really put themselves into it, and the story's great. It's superhero story. It's a father-son story too, because this kid who he's invincible. He hasn't got his powers yet. He's in high school, and then his powers come in. And then now he wants to like, follow in his father's footsteps, and he comes up with his name. Well, I'm invincible. And he like, he's trying to be a crime fighter. And then they got all these great characters. Like go back up again. They got this guy, this demon hunter guy. I love that guy. Damian Darkblood. And the guy that plays him, he's a great actor too. Clancy Brown. He, there's like this murder that happens, and they, that guy's there trying to solve the murder. Zachary Quinto, he plays a robot, which is like Cyborg, it's just a really fantastic cast. So, Invincible's coming to terms with its powers, and it's like that whole father-son dynamic, because Omni-Man is like the the hard father who doesn't show his emotions, and and there's a really interesting turn that happens in that. So you got to check that. And then Seth Rogen plays this guy, Alan the Alien, who's like a part of like an interstellar organization that comes to Earth. But yeah, maybe that's a spoiler alert right there, because but it just doesn't give too much of the story away. Then you got War Woman, and then and it's one of these like sort of like they make these really interesting like sort of woke choices, and I don't mean it in a bad way when I say that, because like the kid that plays Invincible, his best friend is a gay kid in high school, and Invincible is also dating a black girl. You know what I mean? And this is in the cartoon. That girl right there, he's playing. He played by Amber Bennett. Zazia Betts, or she plays Amber Bennett, and she's dating the Invincible, whatever his name is when he's not invincible. I forgot the kid's name, Grayson or something, whatever his name is. Yeah,
Mark Grayson. So Mark's just like all-American sort of white boy, and and he's dating this black girl, and they don't even talk about it, and that's the one thing I appreciate about it. They don't like. There's no reference to race. They just make it. They really normalize it. Like I'm the one making a big deal about it. If you think about it, it's what me talking about it is what's making it a big deal. So I probably shouldn't. So hopefully one day it won't matter. We won't even think about it. But we're not at that day yet. So I'm on a podcast and I'm talking about it. But I did find that interesting that they did that. So like again, he's the white guy, he's dating a black girl, his best friend is gay, and then like and it's an interesting story. So they got this, and I think that the mom, played by Sandra Oh, I also think her character is Asian. I think that's another thing too. So he's half, quote unquote, white because, again, his father's from another planet, and this other planet, they're white on this other planet. Omni-Man's white on this other planet. But I think the mom is Asian. So even if you look at this character, they drew him, I believe he's Asian, half Asian. And it's so weird when you're drawing that. You don't want to be too, like, stereotypical Asian-y, I guess, if that's such a thing. It's like, and it's all about the eyes and how it looks and whatever the features are that makes someone Asian. You know, we have this like terrible stereotype of what we think that is. But the wife, you know, played by Sandra Oh, if I remember correctly, just from watching this show and how the characters are drawn, I believe that. So that's what you're talking. So you got a half white, half Asian kid dating a black girl who's got a gay best friend, and he's a superhero, and you know he's got father-son issues, and so again, I hope I'm even giving it justice for you to want to watch it, but it actually is a great show. Other than being a DC knockoff, and I feel like they did that on purpose. I feel like the creators of this aren't stupid. They knew what they were doing. So I guess there was a purpose for that. And maybe I'm going to do some research. And maybe if you guys know too, people that are bigger fans of the show and you're like really into it, and you know, there's some article you have where they like, oh, they did this on purpose and whatever. If you want to find that, you know, let me know. But it's really... Again, I think it's a super interesting show, and I'm glad people recommended it because I thoroughly enjoyed it, you know. And then they got this these younger superheroes. So something happens to, the main heroes of the Guardians of the Globe. So this is like the Teen Titans again that come. So these are like the Teen Titans that are here, and they're there to like, you know, freaking. Take over for the Guardians of the Globe because something happens, and I won't tell you what happens, but you got to check that out. But it's a really good, interesting story. You know, so make sure you guys check out Invincible. And you haven't watched it yet, huh, Wiggs? You going to watch it?
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. Yeah, it looks sick.
Yeah, because you watched this next one that I told you to watch.
Yes, sir.
And this is the other one I want to review, and it's called Love, Death, and Robots, and it's on Netflix. And I got to tell you guys, this is such a fascinating show for so many reasons. Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix. It is just this. It's like this technological advancements they're showing. Like it's all this sort of computer generated. A lot of it is computer generated graphics, and it looks great. Like sometimes when you're watching, I'm not sure. You know, I'm like, and it's all like 10 to 15 minute stories, standalone stories. You know, it's kind of like, it reminds me of like the Twilight Zone, you know? It's very much like that. It's like a Twilight Zone of these little short stories, and they're all related to like robots, futuristic stuff. They all have that sort of undertone. It's all love stories, or it's about death, and they involve robots.
Yeah.
Right? Is that a great good example of what it is? And it is just really it's a great story, and like you don't have to like every single story, by the way. Like I'm trying to think of some of the ones that were my favorite. I love the one where like it was like a guy's narrating a story, and like so a giant man just shows up.
That one was great.
Dead on the beach. So like how a whale is on the beach. It's just a big giant man, naked man. Oh, by the way, a lot of nudity in this. It is also, let me say this, it is adult. It is an adult cartoon.
They love to sneak in nudity whenever they can.
Yes. Yeah. It's like some really interesting, it's a lot of nudity, a lot of dick in this too. A lot of cartoon dick.
Yeah, there are some. Yeah.
So if you want to be jarred by some cartoon dick, there's a lot of cartoon dick in this. So this big giant man, he just shows up on the beach, and it's called Man, and he's dead. All right. And so it's being narrated by a guy who is like he's like a science team or something, and he's just telling the story of like when they found it and how people were like putting graffiti on it and people were cutting it up, and you know, like some guy, it just was like just an interesting story. And Wiggs, let me ask you this: you know, when you're watching it, didn't you have there was moments where you were like, it was like the way it ended, it was kind of like anticlimactic endings, or you know, it just sort of like ends.
Yeah, it left you wishing that.
Yeah.
It left you wanting more. You know.
Yes, so many of the
and
episodes.
It was like, oh, you're just gonna leave me hanging like this, but it's cool because they're really digestible. They're short. You know, they're like no longer than 25 minutes.
No, I don't think any of them were long. I think they were all like 10 to 15 minutes.
I think there was one that maybe it was from season. I watched them all. Like,
yeah, me too. I watched. There's 2 seasons. They call them. They don't call them season. They call them
volumes.
Volumes.
Yeah. So there's like one that was like 28 minutes, but yeah, other than that, they're all under. Like most of them are no longer than like 12 minutes. You know.
Yeah.
So
very funny. Some of them are really funny.
Yeah, they're all funny. They're all cool.
Well, I don't think they're all funny. I think that there's some funny ones.
Most of them have like at least some sense of humor in them, a little bit.
I don't know. I think some of them were dark.
Yeah, a couple of them were definitely pretty dark. But
like there was one. One of the ones I really liked a lot was like it's some sort of science team. They're out on some like expedition and they get blasted into space. You know, they get blasted into space someplace, and the guy wakes up and like it's a woman that he from his past is there, and he's like, "How did we get here?" And then it's like really sexy too. They drew her like she was super sexy, and then they have like this really hot sex. But then it turned like I won't give away what it is, but it's not what it seems. And what it was when you found out, it was like I was just like, whoa, where the fuck? I didn't think it was gonna go there.
Yeah, and the ending, the way it leaves you, you're like, oh, so he's just like
you almost want to like
my friend was like, oh, I think it's like heaven and hell and symbolism and this and that. So it's like everybody can take something different.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even take it like that. I
didn't either. But
that's something.
It's like he's like reliving this loop of whatever.
But I think it's being controlled by. But anyways, we don't want to give too much away of that. But
yeah, it's cool. It's like I would say it's like if Twilight Zone and like Black Mirror like had a weird 2021 baby that was animated.
You know what?
Shorter and easier to digest. Like, but it's like they flipped it on its head. Like, yeah they're great though.
Very much that is a good way to say that. It was.
There's definitely some Black Mirror-ish elements in there, but it's like anything futuristic nowadays. I feel like any type of that genre of show.
People say Black Mirror.
Exactly. So.
Yeah, so I would say again to continue with it is. Yeah, it's and the other thing about it is this like really fantastic CGI.
Yeah.
This computer generated like but realistic animation.
So realistic.
So because there was sometimes an episode would start and I would be like, because there was one episode. Oh, one of the episodes that was like really good too is the one with Topher Grace.
Yeah. Oh, that one was one of my favorites.
Yeah, the one with Topher Grace, and it's basically like in his refrigerator is like a little universe, like a little community is like, you know, like he pulls out an ice cube and it's got a woolly mammoth in it, you know? And he's like, what the hell is this? And he looks inside the refrigerator and he says, oh my God, there's like a prehistoric world going on in his freezer. And him and his girl, they just kind of like, oh, that's cool. You know, and every time they close the refrigerator and open it back up, like a century has passed, you know, and it just keeps going technology until like, you know, this crazy thing happened. But it's a weird artsy story. But that one was like live action. There it is right there. This one was live action, you know. And so, you know, but again, I wonder, is it live action? Yeah, it is. It is. That was one of the only ones.
But on other ones, you're like, is it live action? And
dude,
they must have been like I told you, I was on mushrooms too, so I was like, is this real or not? Like,
Wiggs was on mushrooms, guys, and that's for your mom's listening. So Julie, you know,
she knows.
I don't know what you were doing in his childhood that he has to resort to mushrooms.
No, these ones were great though.
So they what am I saying? Yeah. So sometimes the episode would start and you're like, I don't know if this is a cartoon or not. And then the next thing you know, you're like, oh shit, this is a cartoon. Now there's something about that live action animation that is real. It's something weird about it. Like it's as close to it looking real as it possibly can, but there's still something that they haven't quite fixed it where they're gonna get rid of actors. You know,
I think they've got to use real actors in there, right? Like
I don't know how it works.
For some of those though, like wearing the suits, right? And then they base it off.
Who knows, man? I think they probably have some program that they put the stuff on a person, and then they you know how they do that. Like, you ever see at the mall where you stand in a thing and they do a 360 thing, and then you could get a little doll of yourself.
Yeah.
I think they use that technology to computerize the person, and then they can do whatever they want inside the computer.
Because I would notice, like when they did animals, it's like the animal movements didn't look quite exactly how animals would, but the people movements were pretty like
Yeah, but it's still
on point.
there's still a little
Yeah,
choppiness to it. It's still like hey,
yeah, a little bit like video gamey.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
very video. It's very like the stupid stories in between video games.
Yeah, it's like the story mode of video games.
Yes, the dumb, which I can't stand, by the way, which I can talk about in another episode. It's like, yo, man, I just want to shoot shit. Let me go on a quick tangent. So I got the Avengers game. I love it because I love playing as the Hulk. Because there used to be this game called it was like the Hulk, Incredible Hulk game, and it was just you would just smash shit, and I loved it. I just want to smash shit. I get a video game. I want to shoot things, smash shit. That's what I want to do. I don't need this woke ass storyline where you have to play as this girl who's like, going on her quest with the Avengers. And it's like, I want to skip past it every time. I can't stand that stuff. That's just me. I don't care about your dumb story. When do we get the gun in my hand and I can like kill aliens? Because that's all I want to do. All right. So please keep your story. You should always have the option to skip the story. Okay. That's just my opinion. All right. Wait, I gotta take a. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. I always have this sinus thing, man, and people say something about it too all the time. Like, yo, man, drink some water, or you making noises. I feel like an old ass man. You don't hear it till like I'm listening to the edit, and I'm like, damn, I sound like an old ass man. But hey, guys, it is what it is. You know what I mean? This is free content. You know, what you want me to do? You want to go watch Netflix. But love, robots, death, and robots. I highly recommend this show. And if you're, you smoke weed, you take mushrooms, it's a great show for that,
It is.
I could see that. When you said that to me,
Yeah.
Wiggs goes, I was on mushrooms. My first thought was like, oh, yeah, this is a perfect show for this. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, look at this animation, man. We're just showing the trailer for it right now. I mean, there's like great detail in the eyes, and look at all that.
Yeah, this doesn't even do it justice.
It really doesn't, but like even that right there.
When you watch it on Netflix, you'll see.
Yeah,
Like,
if you're watching on a good TV, you're just like, oh, and some of the animation was like very stylistic.
yeah, like this episode was
Yes.
insane.
Yes.
That was a really sick episode.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and then
This one was great too.
Oh my God, that was
Yeah.
one of my favorites
That
too.
one is awesome.
That one's like a take on Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you go, okay, now I got it. What they did with a lot of these stories is they left it open to your interpretation and your imagination to see where it goes or where it came from. And I really enjoyed that. But that one right there, this episode we're looking at right there about there's two little kids and it's a Christmas episode.
Yeah, my friend was like, oh, I want to see what happens like when you're bad, at the end of this one. He's like,
Don't give it away.
Right.
With no spoiler alerts on this because I do want people to watch it because they are short, digestible,
yeah,
easily to watch.
they're like you could watch the whole new season in under an hour.
Yeah,
it's a great watch.
It is a great watch. So kudos to that one was you see when you talk about humor, like this episode right there. That one right there.
That was the futuristic old people home one.
Dude, that one was dark as hell,
Yeah.
man. That's a dark ass episode. Like, so don't think these are all. It's not. That's why I disagree with you. It wasn't all fun and games.
No, they're not all fun and games.
No, some of these are really dark.
Are you talking about
with the kids?
The vacuum one?
No, the vacuum one was funny. No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one where they've cracked immortality.
God. That one is dark.
It's illegal to have. It's illegal to have kids.
That one was super dark.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was dark as hell, man. And this one was funny. This one where the vacuum cleaner kind of goes crazy, and she's on the customer service line. Like it's a lot of them are funny, and but they're dark because even that shit is dark, So it's like I've said it a million times, but watch that episode, watch that series. Love, Death, Robots. It's on Netflix, and I highly recommend it. And make sure you check out Invincibles 2 on Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, it's worth it. Like the DC knockoff stuff, it doesn't matter. It's still a great watch, and it has some fantastic actors in it. Like the accumulation of talent in that show is off the charts. So check that out. Okay. So I talked about American Idol, NBA, and I did my movie reviews that I wanted to do. So now it's time in the show where we go over to Wiggs has got some stuff for me. So Wiggy's Corner. No, we can't have Wiggy's Corner because that's like Rachel's Corner.
No,
you know
Wiggy's Corner.
Yeah.
Wiggy's World.
Wiggy's World.
Yeah.
Getting wiggy with it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So what you got for me this week, Wiggs?
Well,
We should get some. You know what? And this is a moment too where if you guys have fan mail, if you want to send in some stuff or whatever, now's the time. Now I have somebody for this. And you made an email. I believe you made an email.
Yeah, I made a riffinadvice@gmail.com. So you can send all the grown ass man advice and any questions, any scenarios.
Yeah, so he'll have that on the screen. It's probably on the screen now. Look, right there. You can see the email right there, guys. And so start, or they up there, wherever you want to have it. So make sure you, if you want to, that'll go directly to him. So you could, whatever you have to say about the show and email and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll start,
advice, anything.
Yeah, anything
Movie
at all.
reviews, movies you want us to review.
Exactly.
Anything, all of it. Music.
Yeah. Music, that's a good too. I should actually go. But the only thing I would hate to review music because then when I can't play
no,
it.
I just meant
but I want to do it though. But
that too.
But it sucks that you can't because I want to be like, I heard this great song and here it is.
Yeah.
You can't do that because then they're gonna ding me, which is so stupid.
Right.
I'm promoting them. You know what I mean?
Well, some people. It depends how big they are, but.
Well, no, the algorithm catches it.
Okay.
YouTube itself catches it. No matter how big or small it is. In last week's episode,
I mean how big the
had
artist is, because maybe it won't.
No, it's in their system, man.
Okay.
They have a copyright whole. It's like once it's in the machine, it's in the machine, no matter how big or small. Because I had a kid give me some music, and it was his own copywritten music, and then I got dinged for it.
Yeah.
So I was like, so when I tell people when you send me music, don't send me something that you're gonna try to make money on later, because you're gonna mess me up.
Yeah.
So you're just sending me music because you're like, hey, I want to send you this, and I'm using it on my podcast. Look what happens to my hair when I do this. All right. Anyways, all right. So what you got?
All right. What do I got? I got well, we haven't ever really talked about this. I don't know what your thought of it is, but what do you think about Dogecoin, Bitcoin?
Oh,
cryptocurrency.
Well, what is this? What's going up and down right there?
This is my Robinhood. It was originally like $40.
Oh, so it's still going up. So now you're
well, no, it went up, and then now it's going back down.
But you're still up. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still up from $40.
Yeah. Let me look at mine. I'm actually on Robinhood too. I got some Dogecoin too.
Because I bought it at 4 cents.
Oh, good for you. I wish I would have done that.
I got lucky.
So I go on a year. So I'm still up. Now I'm up $2,745.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm up on on that.
That's good.
But
when did you buy Dogecoin?
I bought it. I forgot when I bought it, but I bought it. It was like 14 cents or something, something like that. And I had, it's crazy. I had some Bitcoin. When it was at 6,000, and I sold it. I still made a big profit.
Yeah.
But when it got to 60, I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I put my leftover. I got free stocks and then sold them and put the remainder into Bitcoin.
Oh,
but then it crashed.
Dude,
so.
I have no idea how it works. I don't understand it at all.
That's kind of what I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to
I just think that get
a better idea.
To me, it means nothing. It's just like a service that they've to me. I'm from old school. I want it to be you make something or you sell something or you provide something.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Bitcoin. I no, actually, I understand. Bitcoin's the only one I get in terms of all right. So if you want to use this to have an untraceable source of way to send money and receive money for particular services, okay. So this is a new gold system.
Yeah.
You got Bitcoin, but all the other ones I don't get.
Yeah, I don't really get. I don't really understand.
It's like if somebody came up with their own gold. If somebody came up with if somebody said, okay, so we have the gold standard, and somebody came, well, I have the load standard, and it's just like gold. And you go, well, why is that valuable? So that's what I feel about all these cryptocurrencies.
Chain link, blockchain.
I don't understand it at all.
Yeah,
so maybe if you want to explain it in the comments, because I know, it's just like with COVID, everybody in the comments somehow is like a scientist.
Yeah, crypto. We need a crypto wizard.
Yeah, we need a crypto guy to
any
write
crypto
in the
wizards
comments.
want to come on. We'll hear what you got to say.
Explain it to me. So what I have to say about that is hey, don't use it's gambling. Okay, what you're doing is high stakes gambling. So don't use money that you need to pay bills
to buy Dogecoin.
Right.
Okay, that's what my advice to you is that if you have some extra money laying around, like Rachel put $100 in, but it was too late. Like, you know what I mean?
So it just crashed?
No. She had her $100 in there, right? And then this is Rachel. She's looking at her phone and she's going like this. She's 100. She's like, oh my God, 106. Eric is at 115.
Yeah, that's like my friend. He put in 25 and he was like, oh, it's at 31. Oh, it's at 32. Oh, we're back down to 31. He was like just watching. I'm like, you can't watch it.
Yeah, you can't watch it.
Yeah.
I told her too. So now now it was up 200. So she had 200. Now it's back down to 100 and a little bit less, or like I said, 100. So now she's like, what happened to my other $100?
Yeah. Yeah, see, I was almost at like $900. I should have just.
Yeah, that's what you don't.
Oh well, though.
It shoulda, woulda.
It's $40.
You never know. It could go on a run again.
Right, exactly. Could just skyrocket back.
I mean, at a certain point, like if it just gets to, I just want it to get to where like Litecoin or Ethereum is. Like if Dogecoin gets to like,
if it went there, we're on.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If it got to $100,
I did the math. I was like, if it hits $100, I make like a little over $100,000. If it hits $1,000, that's $1 million. Like
yeah.
I've
done the same
did all
thing.
the math. So
yeah, it gets to 100. I have house money.
Right.
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have my Doge house. I'm gonna call it.
That would be sick. Doge house.
Yeah, my Doge house. So yeah, but that's really. I know we didn't tell you. I know this is like nothing. I didn't give you any information or anything, but all I'm saying is like I don't know how it works. It just seems fun. It seems like it's going to. It's like having an app that's like online casino app.
Yeah.
That's what Robinhood feels like to me. And I even went to like
It's like one of those 8-ball pool apps where you can win like real money via PayPal or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways. All right. That's our cryptocurrency.
Crypto
talk.
This goes into Love, Death, Robots a little bit. We got robot police dogs now.
What?
I don't know if I think this is kind of old. Like we've had these probably, but yeah, there's some guy getting arrested and we got robot police dog.
Where? I don't see no robot police dog.
Wait for it. There he is. I don't know what he's doing. Like you'd think, like, is it a bomb?
I've never seen nothing
detecting?
like this before in my life.
Like, what is that? What is that doing?
Yeah, all right,
some Black Mirror.
Yeah, like it to me it would be like you could turn it off, or turn the volume down. To me, it's like I was in a hotel. I was in this like fancy hotel in Boston when I was shooting this movie, sleepover for Boston, and they have a robot that just is roaming around the hotel. They got this robot roaming around the hotel and delivering shit for people. So it would be in the elevator. You kind of got to just get out of its way too. It's not like it. It's not like it like stops or it just. I don't know how it works, and that's like the future of it. It's the same thing with like the pizzas being delivered. Yeah, that robot right there. Yeah, that's the kind of thing they got. So they got these robots in hotels that are just like delivering shit. So it's so bizarre. And then they got like, so now I don't know if that thing is happening or not, or if it's real or not. Is like Pizza Hut delivering pizza with robot cars now? They have the commercial for that, and that just made me go, well, hold on a second. So pizza can drive on the road, but a person can't be in a car right now, being like remote controlled or AI controlled. What do you call it? Self-driving cars? So they got the self-driving pizza delivery.
Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, right. Do you see it on there? I mean, yeah. So Pizza Hut's got this like delivery thing that's like roaming around the city. I haven't seen one.
That's Black Mirror, pretty much.
Right. And I think even Amazon is delivering packages now. The packages are roaming around the city delivering stuff too. I thought it was going to be like the drone things flying, delivering packages, but I don't know. I mean, it's just like, is that the future right now? It's like, those type of jobs are going to go away. I mean, I think that the self-driving cars, like, eventually, I mean, because I don't know how many people, but I'm sure you have numerous friends in your age bracket who are driving Uber and Lyft. There's people, that's what the people do now.
Yeah.
There's people who were like, they made that a career.
DoorDash.
They do, but they do it all.
Yeah.
You're delivering Uber. You're delivering Uber Eats. You're driving Uber. And then you do DoorDash. All these kinds of things, and that's what you're. So once they get self-driving cars, it's a wrap. Like, what's going to be that type of job? Like, yeah, look at that right there. Yeah. There's this Amazon thing. But to me, it's like, so like. Thieves and homeless people, they just gonna swoop that up.
Bash it open.
Like, is it gonna be? Yeah, they're just gonna bash it open, or is it? What my question is, does it have some kind of defenses on it? That's what I want to know.
Like spikes pop out.
Yeah, dude. Like, is it spike? Is it like, dude? Does it electrocute people? Does it warn you? That's gonna be the future of it too. Like, you have 4 seconds to get away, or you're gonna be killed. So I mean, that's the future of stuff, man. Where they're just gonna be like completely delivering stuff. I do have like a side story about this, that something that happened to me the other night, and this is something I want to know if anybody's experienced this too. So I was coming home late from the Comedy Store, and Rachel was hungry, and I wanted to get something to eat too, right? And so I look on the app, and I find a restaurant in my area that was open, and it was like a certain restaurant. So I went and I ordered pickup because I signed up for the Grubhub thing. I actually signed up to be a member because you get $10 off when you pick it up. So once a month, it's cool to like go pick it up. You get that $10 reward, and it pays for itself in that way, So I find a restaurant. It's called Crispy Chicken or whatever it was called, right? And then I went and I got there, and I'm driving around because I can't find the place. I'm looking at the sign. And it's like a Pizza Hut. It's a pizza place. It's some like New York style pizza place. So I go, wait a minute, maybe it's in the back or something. So I pull up and I get out, and there was a guy waiting there. And so you could tell it's a lot of like Grubhub, Postmates type people who are trying to pick food up. And I said to the guy, yo, dude, is this the chicken spot? And he's like, oh yeah, man, this place is like 5 different restaurants on the app. Ghost restaurants. Is that what that was? Yeah. So this place is not just one restaurant. So when you're driving by, it looked like a pizza place. Okay, it says the sign. It says pizza, New York style pizza. I forgot the name of the place, right? But it's also a chicken place, a cookie place. An Italian. It had like 4 or 5 different restaurants in this one location, and everybody. So I'm talking to the people. I go, well, what is this? And so because somebody walked up and go, is this the cookie spot? And I was like, the cookie spot.
Yeah, apparently they're doing this with like tons of different places. Like they're doing it. This went like viral on the internet a while ago because Chuck E. Cheese's was changing the name on delivery apps, and they called themselves Pasquale's Pizza and Wings. Because they knew that they'd get less business as Chuck E. Cheese, so they would.
That makes sense.
That started a whole thing, and actually, I have a friend who he runs Emo Night LA. It's like a promotion.
Emo Night.
They throw shows and stuff.
It's just sad white kids.
Yeah, more or less. But they throw like parties. Like.
Is it parties or is it just people being sad?
No. It's they're serious. They're big. They popped off. They were pretty popping for a while.
You'll have to
before the pandemic.
You'll have to explain emo to me another episode because I don't understand.
They started a side thing where they start a restaurant, and it's like.
In the same location?
It's the same sort of thing where they get it done with a kitchen. It's this. They do lots of stuff. But
you look how sad that kid is. Like, go back to it.
He does.
This is exactly what I'm saying.
He does look pretty sad.
Look how freaking sad this kid looks on Emo Night. Like, he looks sad as hell. Like,
I wonder if I'm on here. I modeled for them once. Yeah, wait. Emo. It's called Emo Bite.
Oh,
I forget where it is, but
it's
called Emo Bite, and they do it on the delivery apps, and it's the same sort of thing where.
Well, first of all,
they do a ghost kitchen, and it's like.
First of all, wait. Don't catfish me with your food. That's catfishing.
Exactly.
This is catfish food. Okay?
Exactly.
So this is the new catfish. Well, I come to a restaurant and I'm like, this ain't a chicken place.
But with them, they just used it as a way to do their.
No, but I don't appreciate it. If I want to go to a place that all they do is make chicken, so I know that they're experts at chicken.
Yeah.
I don't want to come to a place where it's like, oh, you guys make pizza and then you just throwing some chicken in the stove, making me feel like. And then, you know what? By the way, the chicken wasn't good. The chicken was burnt. I went onto the app and I was like, my food was overcooked. The French fries were overcooked and the chicken was overcooked. And I was upset about that because I was like, see, because y'all don't know how to make chicken because you make pizza. Pick up. You can't be catfishing me with the food. That's what that is. It's food. It's food fish.
Wait, look at this. What is it? This says how to start a virtual restaurant.
Well, there you go.
And it's on the Uber Eats website.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can do it. I mean,
Launch a virtual restaurant.
I can just have people come and I can just make I can just boil eggs. I can make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and you just get them.
Griffin's Egg Shack.
Yeah, but you don't have to have. You don't have to have like a license and like you've
got
you got it. You're right. You can't just like be giving people food, right? Well, these I don't like these catfish restaurants, man. These catfish restaurants got to go.
Yeah, there was another one that was doing it too, not just Chuck E. Cheese. I forget what it was.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be real with me, okay? if you like making Italian food and you an expert at Italian food, don't be making Chinese food on the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not a real Chinese
you can't
place.
do it all.
You can't do it all.
Yeah.
Pick one that you're good at. All right. That's that rant. What else? We've been going a while. We might have to
crazy.
Maybe a couple more.
Okay.
On Wiggy's World.
This is just fucking hilarious. I don't know if you ever saw this video, but it's pretty funny. So dude just scored a goal.
Yeah, like
let the clip off.
This one, like what?
Where is
this is why I don't go to park games. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's gotta be. Where the fuck is that?
Yeah, that can't be someplace. Yeah, that can't be like that. Can't be down the street. No, you know what I mean?
Definitely not.
Like, damn, dude. What if like somebody like just why does it gotta be like an automatic pistol too?
I know, just
like that's just part of the problem right there. Like so casual with it too. Like, good job, kid. Man. Like that's just scary. So yeah, so for people listening, so it's like an outdoor, look like a shady park, and somebody kicks a goal, and it looks, what it looks like. It looks like it was a challenge. You know what I mean? It looks like. Well,
it looks like it went into like extra goals.
No. This looks like let me finish. It looks like this is a gang, okay? And two dudes was talking smack, and the dude was like, "You can't score a goal on me."
That's true.
You know what I mean? And the other dude was like, "I can score on you right now, fool." And they was like, "Let's go to the park and do it." So then they they at the barbecue already there, and they were just this the park they hang out with.
Yeah, he's got a big old watch on.
Yeah, and then there's like a goal right there. So the one dude's like, "All right, try to score on me." And then the dude scores on him, and then the other guys are like, "Oh!" And he pulls out his semi-automatic pistol and blows it up in the sky. Like, damn.
Literally. Yeah, that is.
So that's the story of that, which is like,
yeah, that's probably what went
I wouldn't want to be like at the park with my kids, and you just like, oh, look what's happening over there. A dude just because those bullets have to come down. Where are those bullets landing?
Yeah, I mean, that's insane.
Right? I don't think that's a real thing. I think that's been myth busted. Do you remember, you ever watch Mythbusters? They had a one where they said it kind of if you drop a penny from the Empire State, they were like they myth busted.
Yeah, they busted myths.
Yeah, or like they did. I saw the one where like it's so hot you can cook an egg on the sidewalk, and that was myth busted. You can't, no matter how hot it is.
God, what were some good ones? They did a ton of good.
Yeah, they had a ton of good ones right there. I should do a myth busting. Right, I do a myth bust. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, we should do.
But
Griff bust.
Yeah, Griff bust. We'll call him Griff bust. But listen, guys, I appreciate you guys once again being here, watching, listening, subscribing, liking, Riffin with Griffin. Another episode bites the dust. We did it again. So make sure you catch me. I'm usually gaming daily on Erik Griffin Gaming. Still auditioning for stuff. I remember I talked about an audition I had last week. They didn't want me, but now I got a new audition that I'm gonna have Wiggs help me with. So let's see. So if I get that one, then he's got to be my new audition guy. My normal audition guy is Ben. You guys, I've had Ben on the podcast, Ben Seward, and he's really great doing that for me because we would do it virtually because we couldn't you couldn't go anywhere because of COVID and all that stuff. So he's been helping, and we booked a movie. So I booked that Ray Romano movie with an audition that I did with Ben. So that worked out. So we finally got one. So we'll see if this one works out. Because this is another good job it would be, but hey, it is what it is. You get those, they come and go. A lot of it has to do with like timing. So but anyways, I'll keep you posted on that. Continue watching the playoffs. Just to recap, Clippers. I'm pulling for my Clippers. I would love to see Clippers Nets would be good too. Clippers Sixers would be good. But Lakers Nets is also a fantastic final. So we went over that. Shout out to all the American Idol people and American Idol fans. Check that out. Make sure again you watch Love, Death, Robots on Netflix and Invincible on Amazon Prime. I just reviewed those, so that was great. And thanks again for being here. Thanks to Wiggs, thanks for coming again. And we'll keep. We've gotten more positive feedback than negative, so we'll just continue going and keep trying to grow the podcast and see where it goes from here. And guys, thanks for watching Riffin with Griffin.
Appreciate you guys.
Yep, appreciate you. And make sure you send stuff to the new email Riffin Advice. I don't know why you made it that, because sometimes it's not always about advice, but
Riffinadvice@gmail.com.
Riffinadvice@gmail.com. So check that out. And thanks again for watching Riffin with Griffin, and I will see you next week.